All right. Hello. Good evening. Good evening to TV Land. Hi. On today's episode, we're gonna fix my face because I'm a bit weathered. Because it's really good weather outside at the moment. Where's my foundation brush? This is a debacle. I hope everyone knows that this is a debacle. Debacle. Shit, where's my foundation brush? This is a whole thing. This is why we can't have nice things. Cunt lips. Rare stream PogChamp. I'll try to decipher that. Alright. Let's look more presentable. Foundation is just meant to be a foundation. It's there to accept the powder. Thank you, Alex Nag. Keep doing what you do. Oh, I will. Trust me. But thank you. That is a record super chat. No one else has loved me enough to throw such money at me. That's a bit lighter than I would like, but whatever. Actually, I should mix it with some neutral. Hey, Allie Sparkles, how are you? How have you been? I hope it's as beautiful out there as it is here, wherever you are. Blaze says hi. Hi, Blaze. Which Reddit? What Reddit? I came here from Reddit. You were so inspiring to me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, which Reddit? Hold on. Was it my post on Reddit or was it someone else? Someone else spreading the love of Nill. There is an R-Nill, but I don't really update it because no one seems to really have too much to say there. I mean, I suppose I do a shitty job promoting it, but yes, that does exist. Getting ready for a little event. I just left the mall. I'm just fixing my face because it's all fucked up. It was a picture of you, people still view and put your YouTube in. Yeah, that's a lot of places. Oh shit. Except TikTok. I've noticed that the comment system in TikTok is so just not asynchronous, but just not continuous, not conducive to discussions more than just like one single back and forth. So... But Reddit, yeah. It goes on for pages. People are like, why are you putting him down just because of the way he dresses? And you're like, we're not putting him down. And they're like, it's a whole thing. And then someone's like, oh, that's Nill. He's super cool. Watch his videos. And then at that point, someone usually sends me a message. And then I start commenting to everyone, which is the fun part. Because people are like, the best is when people are like, oh, we need to bring back bullying. And I'm like, are you going to bully me? Where are you located? Let's do it. Yeah, Reddit seems to be a lot more mature than most communities. Alright, hold on, I have to read shit. Look at that makeup, bro. It's not even done. How do you stand? Look at my eyebrows. There's like, they're skipping like M&M CDs. Hold on. How do you stand your fur on your paws looking crazy? Why I've paused myself and driven nuts by making sure it looks neat. Because it's not worth it. It's honestly not worth it. I mean, I'll brush it before I leave the house, but like, well, these paws are older than normal because I bought the wrong paws. I bought 3. I paid $90 for supposed to be these, and they wound up being like the ones that go all the way down to here because I'm an idiot, and also because they're called almost the same exact thing except two or three letters different. So now I have to order the correct paws. And these are like, I wear these the most because they're black, and black goes with everything. If I constantly hit the bell, I'll be ringing at work. This one's a new bell, so it's louder than normal. Over time, I don't know if the thing in there just gets worn down or whatever, but they get quieter over time. But this one's like the first day I've worn this, so it's like really loud. Which is nice. I forgot how much like it draws attention to me. Over time, it's slowly gotten silent. And those cost me $90. Oh wow. These are like 30 each a pair, but I have to get multiple different colors. How'd you find the comments to dress as a cat everywhere you go? I'm selfish. I'm addicted to, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just this particular wardrobe, but people just love to compliment me nonstop. And, like, I'm really an attention whore. So all it took was one time, and then ever since then it's just been like, oh shit, that was fun, let's do it again tomorrow. And that's never stopped. I've never had like a negative moment that like deters me from doing that. People like you I envy. Just do it once. Just find the courage to do it once. Do whatever. Be yourself. And then it becomes easier. Like exponentially. Do it online. So here's advice I have. Or was that a hoodie? What? Hold on. I want the horses trying to park use. Oh yeah, you already talked about that. Yeah. So if you want to like test out or get over anxiety about like wardrobe or like visual things, number one, you could always just go like far away to like a town where people don't know you, and then like it's easier because even if it doesn't work out, then like who gives a shit? You don't know anyone there, you know? Especially now that everyone has a mask on, like who the fuck knows who you are? Like put whatever the fuck on you want. Like what are people gonna do? Like recognize you by your eyes? But the other thing that's really nice is go on websites like Omegle or Chat Roulette. Like if you can get past all the dicks that show up, the literal dicks, like it's a really good testing ground for like getting people's opinions and becoming desensitized to random negative comments and shit. So that's always helpful. Do those things. And then you'll want to take 2 hours to look special. Period. What's your daily driver cell phone right now? It's a S9 Plus, I think. Is green your favorite color? No. Neon is my favorite color. Black and neon. Green is a good summertime color. And also, I guess it was just St. Patrick's Day. No one even ever brought that up. What was that, like last week? that's crooked. That's an okay save. No, that's ridiculous. That's way too thick. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Eraser tool. Alright, now we gotta go back to the paintbrush tool. Switch color. Brush tool. Alright, what? What are you asking? Alright, hold on. I have to scroll back. Fluorescent colors, black light, creams my face. Do a video about HTTP 3. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Wait, HTTP 3. I know about HTTP 2. What the fuck is HTTP 3? I'll have to look that up. I trust you. If it exists, I'm sure it's fascinating. Am I a programmer by profession? Kinda. My profession includes a lot of things. That coding is one of them. Neon is a color. It is now. Makeup tutorials with Nill. Yeah, updates 4211. No, nothing's happening there. I guess IR technically is, but yeah, it's not really color. It's an attribute. Fluorescence and phosphorescence. IR Litmus paint presented by Nill. Yes, absolutely. Should I go to Krispy Kreme and get my free donut? Would be a pertinent question. I think there's one not far from here. Oh, fuck. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna do my eyebrows before I bother with the nose. Good enough. Congrats on your vaccination. Thank you. Absolutely, yes. Ever try LED collars? Yeah. Do you dress up as a cat first thing in the morning or only when you're heading out? It's the last thing I do before I head out, usually. Need you ask, of course, free Krispy Kreme. Yeah, I wonder, do you frequent IRC networks? I used to. I used to write IRC server software. I've probably written from scratch at least 12 instances of IRC server software. That's like my go-to example of like when I learn a new language or a new platform is I'll write an IRC server. Not an IRCD, because that would imply it's a fork of the original IRCD from 1988, written by Jarkko Eikkarinen in Finland. But no, from scratch. So Microsoft had an IRC server built into Exchange 5.5 and Exchange 2000. You have no idea what any of this means. IRC is Internet Relay Chat. It's an old way of communicating in chat rooms, but they're really called channels. Actually, think of Discord without audio or video or the things asking you to pay money. And that's almost IRC. Slack without images or video. Like, it's almost like that. But it's a very simple protocol. Colored ANSI art, yes, you can. Actually, did you say ASCII art. There are some clients that support ASCII colors on IRC, like MIRC does, but most colors don't use that. They use control code C. Which is made confusing that in most clients, you create a control C character by pressing control K. I guess they don't want to get you in the habit of pressing control C in their program. I guess that would be copy. In a command line, it would be, you know, kill, abort, and in a UI, I guess control C would be copy. What happens when a system crashes, freezes? When a system, a person who the code flows over browser just stops and the system decides to blue screen. I've yet to see it said. Well, when you say crashes, freezes, freezing is like locking up, like that's one thing. And then crashing, when you mean like a blue screen of death, that's called a bug check. That's a different thing. Which one are you asking about? And I'll go into it. Because I'll be happy to tell you about blue screens. Oh, is it Dave Plummer's video? Alice, are you talking about Dave's Garage? I hope you're talking about Dave Plummer and all of his great videos. Yes, yeah, of course, because who else would be making a video about blue screens other than Dave Plummer or me? Unless it's LGR being like, oh, look at all the blue screens in Windows ME, it's a horrible product. What phone do I use? I've already answered that. This one's an S9 Plus. Okay, so big UPS, big ups, big oops. Is it rooted? It is not rooted because it's a Samsung, and Samsung phones let me do all the things I need to do that normally would require root but don't need root. So I can change my font, I can reskin all the things, I can change like a lot of things. Ad block, I think I might have ad block. I don't need it because I have YouTube Premium, and that's like the only place where I would care about having ads. I don't really... Lineage OS, never heard of it. Okay, so let's talk about blue screens. What causes blue screens? So, processors have... Oh my god, what? DPC watchdog violation. So, DPC watchdog violation would be... No one is my owner. I am my owner. Alright, shut up, hold on. So there's with most operating systems, there's two types of crashes, right? There's a hardware exception, like for example, a bus error or an address error, or the processor raises some exception. A non-maskable interrupt. On Windows, if you generate a non-maskable interrupt, Windows will blue screen. So those are hardware exceptions. And then there's also software exceptions, which are Windows decides to crash because something's very, very wrong, or a driver explicitly crashes the system through the KE bug check function. So DPC watchdog violation, I don't know what DPC is, but watchdog is usually like some periodic thing that runs to make sure that something's running. So the best guess I have without looking it up or Googling it, because my phone's in use, would be that something died that shouldn't have died, and the thing that was monitoring it was like, oh shit, that died, we can't continue. Is my nose tattooed? No, I literally just put it on with eyeliner. Like, I literally just touched it up 5 minutes ago. What room of you house are you in now? I'm in a car. I'm in a car outside the King of Prussia Mall. and I'm on the top of the parking garage, and there's a beautiful sunset out there. When have you ever seen me not in a car? Well, you've seen me not in a car, but or a capacitor blew up in your audio interface. Yeah, that could do it. A single long-running deferred procedure call. Because the system spent a prolonged time at an interrupt request level of dispatch level or above. Yeah, so that makes sense. Your driver's interrupt response code is running too long. It might be getting hung. It might just be probably getting hung because it shouldn't be written to, you know, we should go into what interrupts are. Did I talk about interrupts? No, I didn't talk about interrupts. Ben Eater has a good video on interrupts. Learn what interrupts are. But yeah, like if you're an interrupt handler, like you can't be there forever because like the whole normal state of the system is suspended waiting for you to come back. Very unsafe. What, interrupt request handlers? Well, they're certainly not managed. I used to shop at that King Scoopers in Boulder. I'm in the automobile room. Yeah. I've seen you drive without a seatbelt in your car. Yeah, maybe in a video from like 3 years ago. If you're talking about like the DNS video, yeah, sure. You have not seen me drive without a seatbelt any time in the last 2 years. And I'm not driving right now, obviously. As you can see, the building behind me is still there. Oh yeah, that blue screen in the mall. I remember that. I guess that was a DPC watchdog violation. What's your main OS? Windows. I see you talking about Windows. Yes, because it's Windows. Do you have history with Linux? I've used it. I don't use it. Windows. I'm also a heavy Linux user, but currently using Windows. Most Linux users do use Windows. Do I like my job? Yes, that's why I continue going there and working there. RQL not less or equal. Oh, okay. Then yeah. It can't be greater than. I mean, it can't be less than or equal. Shut up. I think about 3-ish months ago you did a live stream and you drove without a seatbelt. Did I? I don't think so. I think you just didn't say it. I would not... Whether I do or do not drive without a seatbelt, I typically will not make a video without one on. But I could be wrong. I'm sure you can go back and find it and rub it in my face. I mainly use Linux, and I do admit Windows is good for gaming. Otherwise, I just use Arch Linux for everything too. Well, anything that I would want to do in Linux, I can do from Windows, like with WSL. So I really have no reason to actually have a Linux install or use a Linux file system. Like, there are things that I'll do in WSL, like when I have to do an LDAP search command, there is no equivalent in Windows, or a UDP traceroute. Windows does not have UDP traceroute, so I will open a bash terminal and type it there, but no, I will not boot into Linux. Run VirtualBox in WSL2. I run WSL2 and I don't need VirtualBox. If you run WSL2, you need Hyper-V installed, and if you... No, actually you can use Hyper-V and VirtualBox at the same time, because VirtualBox, I think, is all software-based. Unless they've recently added hardware virtualization. Use Vim. No, I have used Vim, but I don't use Vim. I use Nano. Wait, Vim. Wait, hold on. Vim is a text editor? No, that's VI. What the fuck is Vim? Oh shit, what's Vim? Is Vim also a text editor? Or am I completely forgetting something? Vim is VI. Okay, yeah, okay, so it is a text editor. Jesus Christ. For like a second, I thought it was like some type of audio codec or something. I was like, wait, what? No, Vim's a text editor, of course. No, I use Nano. I have never used Vim. I've used VI, would be more accurate. Processor overload flood 2 of 2. I agree. Windows hypervisor engine conflicts with VirtualBox. Oh, it does. Okay, maybe VirtualBox does use hardware virtualization now. It'd be nice if Windows lets you use your own hypervisor, but I guess why would they? And like by that I mean for WSL and credential guard and all that shit. I'm off, got a pack for a ski trip. Good luck. Hope you enjoyed Super Chat. Thank you so much. You can use your own hypervisor with Windows. No, I mean like use credential guard without Hyper-V. Like use ESXi or something else in order to do credential guard. You should run a Discord server. I know I probably should, but I don't know. Why? What's gonna happen? Tell me what awesome shit's gonna happen if I start a Discord server. I thought awesome things would happen if I started a subreddit, and awesome things didn't happen. So, imagine the pings he'd get. The pings I would pong. I'm pretty active on Telegram, I just don't... You'll talk to fans and might gain more fans through it. Maybe. I don't have a lot of time to, like... I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'll think about it. What should I do now? Let me put my makeup away. Is my face okay? That's good enough. Could use some more softness up there. Alright. Let's see what we purchased at the store. Wait, hold on. Let's finish putting the makeup away. Needing more powder. I should have got that at the Sephora. My camera's charging. I gotta buy a new camera. This fucking thing is shit. It's 6 years old. No, it's not shit. It's a great camera, but it's falling apart. Everything about it is falling apart. We demand you go to Krispy Kreme. Okay. I don't even know if they're still open. Find out what time Krispy Kreme is open. Google it for me. I think it's in Chester, Pennsylvania. Tell me where it is and what time they're open till. I got the... Jesus Christ. Hold on. I got this shirt. Oh, wait, hold on. I got this shirt. That bitch Carol did it. I'm large and in charge, baby. I would love to meet up with you and talk about tech TBH. Gonotade. Gonotade wants to meet up and talk about tech TBH. Awesome. Where even are you? Gonotade? Ganotade? Ganotode? I can't read shit. Why is the fucking font so goddamn small? Bill Gannon. Joe Friday. Gonotade. 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 Okay. Hi. You're a state away. What the fuck does that mean? Tell me the state. You could have just had 2 letters. You could have just typed 2 letters. And instead we're playing games with generics, Maryland. Okay. That's technically a state away, but I have to like go halfway through my state to get to where your state touches my state. Arizona. Or is that the what is the vaccine company? AstraZeneca? The other side of the country. Yes, I know. Arizona's over there. Oh shit. You don't have daylight savings time, right? So that means you're like 3 hours out instead of 2. That's a sticky situation. AstraZeneca, yeah, that's it. That seems like a good character name for a comic book character. AstraZeneca. Yeah, DST is stupid. They should just go like what time zone we're in now with the DST, or in Arizona without it, like whatever your preferred summer time schedule is, should just be like what it is all year round. Like, I don't understand why it's not. Like, I understand why we do daylight savings time to get more daylight in the summer. I just don't understand why we go back. Like that. Would it be darker in the winter? No, that doesn't make any sense. Why would shifting an hour make it... We don't have to, like, toggle it back and forth. Why can't it just be the same? Maximum distraction. I love your enthusiasm and talent to explain complex tech. What is your day job? I'm a network engineer and software developer. What you looking at? What am I looking at? I'm not looking at anything. Well, I'm looking into the distance because there's, you know, a city that I can see, a city skyline, and it's getting dark, so the lights are coming on and shit. To make better use of daylight, yes, in the summer, but in the winter, do we have to, like, do we get more daylight in the winter by shifting back? Typically, it gets darker sooner when we shift back in the fall. We don't get more daylight in the winter, we just get it in the summer. That's why daylight savings time begins and ends before and after the summer. You traded Zelda for this? No one knows what the fuck we're talking about. I say this every year, why do clocks go forward just to go back again? Yeah, they should just go forward and stay there. And then maybe next year we go forward again if we like that schedule. But, like, I don't understand why we keep going back to the shit in the winter where, like, it gets dark enough on its own without us changing the clock another hour. Like, it's almost like it gets dark 2 hours earlier. Fuck that. I think someone didn't read the instructions properly. Maybe it was like an act of Congress for daylight savings time and they had to have an expiration on it. They're like, okay, we'll try it for like 6 months, but then we're going back. And then, like, in the spring, they're like, oh shit, it's so dark every time I wake up, and it's dark when I go to sleep. Let's do that daylight savings thing again. Alright, but we're not doing it forever. You know, that's all that matters. Yes. Your autism and such. That should be the name of, I don't know, a band. I just like "and such" on the end of things. I think there was a store where I used to live when I was little called Cheese and Such. No, man, I think it was not just cheese. Paintings and such. My stance on Terry Davis. Well, Terry Davis was the best fucking goddamn programmer on earth. Obviously. Yeah. I'm sad he's dead, but he did some really interesting things in Temple OS that no one has done. Where else can you get sprites and 3D rotating models in line in your text file? What's your favorite band genre of music? I don't know. New wave, ska, punk, 80s, 90s, vaporwave. I feel like I'm missing something big. Yeah, I mean, EDM is okay. No country, no gospel, no classical. You're walking on air. See, now when I do that, it sounds like I'm doing an impression of Vinny from Vine Sauce, when in reality, I was doing that voice with Mario in 2006. Super Maria Wolf. What's the occasion? Why are you streaming? Oh, I don't know, because it's really nice out, and I was fixing my face, and that takes a while, so I thought I could, you know, have a discussion while I was doing that. And now it seems I've done that. And now I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just sitting here. I mean, I think the mall's going to close in 16 minutes, so I'm not going back in there. Let's turn on another light. Joel. I don't like Joel. I mean, Joel's more rational, but he's not funny. Like, I want to hear about Terminal 7. I wrote a song called Terminal 7. It's on my SoundCloud. Actually, I don't know if it is anymore, because, like, my SoundCloud Pro expired. And they're like, oh, some of your songs might not be visible because you have too many songs. I'm like, well, fuck you. Question, is that band of hair coming down your face intentional or no? This? Yes. Yes, this is intentional. Normally my hair is soft and I like drape it this way, but when I go out, especially in the summer, it gets all frizzy or sweaty or whatever, so after like a couple minutes I just like plop it together here so that it's not like going all over the place. What is your mall like? Does it actually have attractions or reasons to go to the mall? Well, this mall's this mall is pretty big. I think it's the second largest mall by volume in the world. No, in the country. But this mall doesn't really have any attractions. There's bubble tea, and there's a Primark, and there's an Auntie Anne's. There's like every store that you've ever seen in a mall in this mall, but it doesn't have attractions. The mall that I would go to for attractions would be the Palisades Park Mall. They have not a roller coaster, a carousel. They have an ice skating rink. They have go-karts. They have this crazy climbing thing that's like 5 stories tall, and like there's like zip lines and shit. Yeah, that's an interesting mall. That's up in New York. The other mall that they just built is American Dream in the Meadowlands by Giant Stadium in New Jersey. And that mall has a lot of attractions. I don't even remember what they all are, but they're like, it's like a fucking theme park in there. But it's in the middle of the Meadowlands. There's no one local there. There's like no normal people like at the mall on the weekend there. It's like a destination for like people to bring their kid to the Nickelodeon, you know, attraction, or, you know, whatever. It's not like a general mall that you just go into when people are hanging out. Oh, I thought it would be for obstructing fake facial recognition. I have no problem with it. Actually, it does obstruct a lot of things on my face obstruct facial recognition. So I don't know that I consider that a positive. I have to type my password in when I go home, because Windows is like making sure it's you, and then it never makes sure that it's me. Bubble tea and attraction. Yeah, there's a Mr. Wish here. So the mall as a mall. What? For like security cameras. What? What kind of fucking conspiracy shit is this? What security cameras are gonna facially recognize me and do anything negative with that information? A cat explains containers. There's a container store over here. It's called the Container Store. Containers are lightweight groups of processes that interns use to put words like Kubernetes on their resume, is what containers are. As has. Audio died. Yeah? Yeah? Died. Do I have a fursona? I don't have a fursona. Weed? No, this is a jewel. Yes, container ships are fascinating. Actually, Wendover Productions already has explained container ships in a much better job than I ever will. Except he's not as funny as me. Do you smoke the ganja? Yeah. Just not in the mall parking lot. While I'm live streaming. I'm gonna head off to sleep. Okay, Danny Danny Demand. You demand! Got second vaccine tomorrow. Congratulations. I don't even know if Krispy Kreme is open. Did anyone ever get back to me on what time Krispy Kreme closes and where it is? You gotta grab some sativa. Okay, yeah, do that. I thought that said salvia. I was like, wait. Oh, headset was the cause. Whoops. Yeah, of course the problem was on your end. I'm a cat. Why would it be my fault? Rafflecopter, 11 p.m. Shit, where is it? Give me an address. I mean, I don't need the address. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I'm a curious cat. Let me bring up my navigation panel on my Star Trek Future computerized machine here. This high-tech equipment. I'm at 40 degrees, 5 minutes, 19 seconds north. 75 degrees, 23 minutes, 26 seconds west. Tell me how far Krispy Kreme is. Give me a heading. Give me a heading, Bob. Come on, Bob. Alright, what did I buy? Let's see what I bought. Okay, so you saw the Carol Baskin shirt. Carol Baskin. What city, PA? I'm in King of Prussia right now. Oh shit, I got a pretzel. I forgot about that. I got Fizzy Cola for my wife. I got Strawberry High Chew for me, because it's good. And I got a sour cream and onion pretzel. Hold on, there's a secret way to open Haichu. Here it is. It says open here. I guess it's not so secret, but it's one of those things that if you don't know how to read, you'll never understand. Havertown. It's in Havertown. Yeah, that works, but how far is it? Havertown is where James Rolfe lives. Maybe I'm not supposed to provide that information, but... How does King of... The rabbit isn't edible? No, it's not. How does the King of Prussia feel about that? Super Maria Rolfe. Do you remember the episode of Muppet Babies where they're in the future and everything is like Star Trek and the Jetsons? No, I don't eat the rap. Oh, you're talking to that hooligan. You're talking to Kasua. Have you been enjoying any video games? No, because I've been building my game anytime that I feel like games. I'm almost done. I feel like I'll never be done. But at some point I want to start a game that I can actually monetize. Let the fist person to say that right. What? Lol. Have you been in... that's 23 minutes from you. Okay. But what am I going to do? Just go in there and buy one donut? Or, like, get one donut free? Like, I don't want a donut. I'm on a diet, and I have a pretzel. That's already a transgression. I just want to be able to use this vaccine card for something. $10 p.m. though, okay. Well, I probably won't go there. What is this store with this neon sign over here? Hold on. I'm going to... I didn't know you were making a game. There's videos. There's a whole playlist. Go on my channel, go to playlists and go to SKX. Hold on, I'm going to use my zoom lens to figure out what this neon sign says. Focus, you fuck. Come on. Oh my god. I can't see because the red is so... It's like flaring on here. Bahama Breeze? That's what it says, Bahama Breeze? What the fuck is that? I wasted time figuring that out. $5. Love from Up Your Nose with a Rubber Hose. That's actually from Welcome Back, Cotter. Up your nose with a rubber hose. It's a Caribbean restaurant. Okay. I guess the Caribbeans like their neon signs. Come to my channel and watch me eat. This is a mukbang. It's okay to eat on camera as long as you call it a mukbang. This is an ASMR video. This is an ASMR video. The Super Mario World 4211 videos are part of the Super Mario World iceberg. If you look that up. Because apparently people thought they were real. Impressionable children thought that they were real. How less real could it get? It says testicles on the fucking screen in bricks. I mean, I know this was before Mario Maker, but if it says testicles, it's probably fake. It's probably not in the Mario game. You should chew 30 times before you swallow. Only high chew. High chew, I have to chew 30 times. Maybe that's why they call it high chew. Where did the high chew actually go? I guess I lost it. See? Do you see what the fuck happens when I'm left to my own fucking devices? No one knows where it went. It's just gone. I didn't just like leave it here and put it here. What happened? Hold on. There's a solution to every problem. And the solution here is I'm going insane. It's not in my hand. That's usually where things go that I don't. Maybe it fell. Mario, it's Mario. Mario? Was it Mario or Mario? They say Mario out here. Yeah, sure, whatever. My Telegram is the same as my Twitter and my Reddit and my everything else and my YouTube. With Richard Stallman getting a rollback, do you have any thoughts on him? I don't recall you ever mentioning it. I did have a tweet. I don't have anything to say about Richard Stallman personally, but in the debate over the GPL v3, I would agree with Linus Torvalds on the matter, which is that they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have made those what they did. What they did, I guess I'll explain it. So I guess I don't know the whole story, but the gist of it is that the FSF didn't like that TiVo locked down hardware so that users couldn't like put their own distribution of Linux on there or whatever, or they locked it down so that users couldn't change the version or update it or whatever. And so when they decided in GPL v3 that, at least by default initially before they backpedaled, that they can't, I don't remember, like with the exception of medical devices and things that are burnt in ROM, like they have to be able to be updated or something. And Linus is like, no, that's not part of the agreement. I don't care if they lock down their product. I just want the changes, the contributions to the kernel back to me. So outside of that, I have no comment on RMS other than that. Probably nuts. Like the O in mom. Mario. I sound too Italian if I say that. Everyone either says Mario or Mario. Not Mario. Jesus Christ. Mario. Which one would... Ma. Is that the schwa? What's the schwa? The schwa is the in Pinnacle. It's a neutral vowel sound. Mario. Yeah, we don't want to use a schwa there. Hi, Joshua.t24. How are you? This fine evening. Hold on, I need to find the haichu. Where did the haichu go? This is a travesty. I didn't put it in the pretzel bag. It didn't fall down there. We've established that it's not in the Five Below bag. Oh, maybe it's under the camera? Because I took the camera out to look at the Bahama Breeze. I don't believe that I put it in the makeup bag. Oh well. I guess I don't really need to be eating haichu anyway. Remember tweeting about that crazy lawyer lady? Yes. I do. My friend is convinced that that whole thing is an alternate reality game. Welcome in. Yeah. Oh. Yes, it's an ARG. That's what they believe. It's an interesting theory. They do this thing here where like the tops of the buildings are lit up, like the domes and the pyramids that are the peaks. Even though they're only like 2 stories tall. Dual core, all the things. No, I haven't. I've heard the song All the Small Things by Blink-182. All the small things. Your dick. I think you might just like it. Okay. I will listen to it if you link me to it. Send me a private message. Light pollution. DM me wherever you can find me. Bahama Breeze, what the fuck? At least the sign isn't that wavelength of blue that is impossible to read more than a couple feet away. You know what I'm talking about? That shade of blue light that you just can't read. Like, if you put letters, like, it's illegible. Can I see any stars? I see a plane. No, I don't. Oh, I have a moon roof. I don't see any stars, but I think it's extremely cloudy. What kind of firewall are you using? Is it still okay to keep using pfSense now that it's closed source? Of course it's still okay to keep using it. All the best firewalls in the world are closed source. Go call up Juniper and be like, hey, give me the code to your firewall. There we go. It's an air neum. What kind of firewall am I using? First of all, you shouldn't tell people what kind of firewall you're using, because then they can just look up the list of exploits. Well, they can do that anyway, but I believe I'm using Vios, VYOS. I was using pfSense for a while, and before that I was using MonoWall. I stopped using MonoWall because it didn't support IPv6 and it wasn't supported anymore. I remember trialing for something at work pfSense and Vios and MikroTik router OS all at the same time, and they all worked really well. MikroTik's super easy to set up. UI, really nice. They have a product called the Dude. It's like a monitoring. It's like Nagios with no bullshit. It's like, just, here, add a host, type its IP address in, it'll discover all the services, click OK, that's it. You don't gotta put an agent on the thing, you don't gotta do SNMP, just basic network monitoring. Here, I want a dashboard, here, let me just draw a shape there. It's done. You don't gotta define anything, you don't gotta fucking install 4 gigs of fucking application. Anyway, I think I went with Vios because of something related to DHCP. There was some limitation in pfSense related to NAT if I wanted to use it for both NAT and I don't remember. It had nothing to do with my home use case. It's just one of the reasons why Vios would be preferred over pfSense in my evaluation. And I don't even remember what it was, and you probably don't even run into that scenario. But I was NATing one subnet to a single IP address, and then I also wanted to do DHCP relay from one side of the NAT to the other, and I don't think that it worked properly. Well, I know that it didn't work properly, but I think that it would either do the NAT before the relay or the relay before the NAT, and it wasn't the right thing, and there was no way to configure it. So that's that. What's an Apple kernel panic in a nutshell? It's the same as any Unix or Linux kernel panic, rather. It's just like a blue screen of death. The system crashes and it shows you the state of all the registers and the stack and whatever else might help you figure out why it crashed horribly. So just like I explained earlier, it could be a software crash where the kernel or a driver explicitly crashes the system because the state is inconsistent, or it could be a hardware exception. The kernel tries to divide by 0 and it's unhandled. So when you have either an operating system kernel, or in the old days before multitasking, just a general program, or like even in a Nintendo, maybe not, yeah, even a Nintendo game, but especially like a Sega Genesis or an SNES game, no matter what it is, one of the first things that you do when you take control over the processor is you set up your interrupt vectors, your interrupt handlers, your exception vectors. I think in Motorola 68K it's called the interrupt vector table, and that tells the processor where it's going to jump to when things like divide by 0 happen, privilege exception, address violation, hardware shit like a bus error, just general errors that the processor has. They're presented as exceptions, which means that the processor will act like it's an interrupt and jump to the address that you had put in the vector table for that condition. And then that code will either handle it, well, it will handle it, or it will just, you know, in the case of a blue screen, it will just display the blue screen and then sit in an infinite loop forever because the system is halted. Or it'll reboot depending on what your settings are, but that's what happens. So there are exceptions aren't necessarily bad. They're not necessarily like horrible things that need to crash the system. Like, for example, a memory access exception, a memory access privilege, no, not privilege, memory protected, whatever. Yeah, an access violation. When it happens to a program like, you know, like Minesweeper, well, that's bad. The program did something it shouldn't have, and Minesweeper should be terminated by the operating system. But in the kernel level, the kernel actually hooks the privilege, why do I keep saying privilege? The access violation handler, and uses it to actually implement paging. And so the way that Windows memory management works, for example, is that it gets called into by the processor when an application goes to request memory that, you know, whatever, it triggers that interrupt, and then it might not be any kind of bad thing. It's just part of the way it works, and then it can come in and swap things out and page things in and then return control back to the program. So that's it in a nutshell. If you remember my Sonic 1 video, there was a part where it said, like, on the screen, like, illegal instruction. That's because the Sonic 1 boot up, if you will, the Sonic 1 code has an error handler that it puts into all the hardware exception fields in the vector table. So if you like take Sonic 1 and like you shake the cart or something and cause it like you cause it to jump into data or something, you corrupt it, you'll typically get, like, it'll say on the screen, it'll be like address error, bus error, you know, and it'll have the memory address of where it was. And then you can press C to continue, to try to continue, and it'll try to jump back to where it was, and you'll probably get another error, but you might be able to hit C enough that, like, it jumps through all the corrupted, whatever. Anyway, so that's that. When Sonic 2 has an exception, it just freezes, I believe. When it has a bad checksum, it goes to a red screen and it goes in an infinite loop, but I think on hardware exception it just freezes. Because there's no error message. In Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the game will restart. So if you ever, like, something glitchy happens in the game restart, that's because that's all the event, I keep saying event handlers, there's no events in a processor. The interrupt handlers, the vector table is just filled with the pointer for reset, which is where it jumps when it starts the game. If that makes any sense. How'd you become so beautiful? Oh, I put on a bunch of makeup. You missed it earlier. It takes a while. The privileged information, yeah. All right, so hopefully that. Oh my God, it's cold in here. Let me turn off my air conditioner. It was really hot out before, but it is not anymore. And in fact, I'm gonna close this. I'm done looking at the stars. That's privileged information, Lily Tomlin. Yeah, everything should be on IPv6. The only thing that's preventing widespread, dropping of IPv4 is thinking like that, where it's like, well, do I even need V6? Of course you need V6. If you build things that don't have V6, later on, when people stop dropping V4, you're going to have to run around and learn all this shit and figure it out. I mean, it's not that much different from V4. If you know V4, V6 is the same thing with a lot more space, a lot more bits in the address. There's some other fundamental changes, but it's nothing that really impacts you as an end user. Everything else kind of works exactly like you'd expect. Unless you're a district manager named Ralphie. Ralphie, the stars aren't done looking at you. Oh no. Get ready to match the stars on Match Game 73. This pretzel tastes like Match Game 73. Well, now that IP addresses are really long, it gives people an incentive to use DNS when they weren't before. What do you all think about... I don't even know. Nothing so evil. I'll tell you what's evil. The restaurants where they give you paper straws. It's like, fuck you. With your toilet paper straw. The first programming language I would recommend to learn. I mean, it depends on how old you are. If you're young, I would say basic. Basic or Logo. If you're halfway decent with computers, you might be able to start with C#. Oh, I found the high chew. It was under the bubble tea. Yeah, I don't want soggy paper in my mouth. Fuck paper straws. 31 flavors at Baskin Robbins. Alright, who knows what a cookie puss is? Are those donuts? They look good. No, this is a pretzel. This is my sour cream and onion pretzel. What are these numbers? Oh, the age of the person, I guess. SCEP. System Center Endpoint Protection? Is that what you mean? System Center Endpoint Protection. Is that even still a thing? Didn't that just get rolled into Defender? I'm sorry, Arizona Mills is 2 miles away. You better get walking. XP. You shouldn't be using Windows XP. I'm just kidding. Any thoughts on NFTs and art? NFTs. No fucking thoughts. Microsoft NDES is the same kind of thing. I have an unreliable transit system. Why do you have an unreliable transit system? Of course NTFS. Non-fungible tokens. It's important that your tokens are non-fungible. Otherwise, they might get infested with fungus. Thoughts on Windows 10X? The fuck is 10X again? Is that the one that runs on phones or something? I don't even fucking know. I am, like, out of the fucking loop on what Microsoft is doing with Windows. All I know is it works fine. If 10X is the weird... Because Valley Metro doesn't think about the public. Valley Metro. I'm sorry that Valley Metro doesn't think about the public. Maybe you should write a check. The cat explains certificates. The cat explains diplomas. The cat explains gift certificates. Let me tell you about gift certificates. They don't exist. They're called gift cards now. I guess they exist if, like, you need a gift certificate from a dog groomer. They get out the generic gift certificate form that they bought at Staples or downloaded from LegalZoom. The cat explains PKI. See, I can't go into certificate. Well, okay, yeah, so I would want to explain TLS, and I guess I would explain certificates first, but, like, it's the why. Like, you have to start with the... Yeah, I would probably do TLS first, and then certificates. Maybe all in the same video. It's really hard, because I would need to explain... Here's my dependency tree, right? So if I explain certificates, I'm going to explain TLS. If I explain TLS, I have to explain public key cryptography. If I explain public key cryptography, I have to explain cryptography. If I explain cryptography, I have to explain the 3: confidentiality, integrity, and non-reputability. I have to explain that. And then in order to, like, explain why TLS has to exist, I have to explain a stream cipher versus not a stream, yeah, a symmetric versus an asymmetric cipher. I have to explain the difference between a cipher and a hash. I have to explain, or at least touch upon, key exchange. So there's a lot of things I have to make analogies for. I've explained TLS before, like I've given talks, but not in the way that I would like to on YouTube, where I would have an analogy that is like one analogy for the entire concept, and I don't have to like keep telling you to, okay, now imagine, if that makes sense. A Sergal explains public transit. Public transit. You know, fuck Arizona. No, I'm kidding. Fuck you, Baltimore. Maybe just a general video of PKI networking equals job security until you retire. Why does PKI plus networking equals job security? PKI is not that hard anymore. Let's Encrypt is making PKI easier and easier every day. I'm surprised. Yeah, I think in 10 years, PKI certificates will be completely seamless somehow. I mean, with all of the containerization and elasticity of things, certificates just get in people's way. Like, I think that it will be made much more seamless. I don't really think that PKI is like one of those things that, you know, someone at your company sets up. If they do it right, like they put effort into it when they set it up, and then it kind of just runs itself. You know, like once every 2 or 3 years, you have to issue a new root certificate. Maybe 10 years. I think the best practice is 10 years for the root, but like occasionally certificates expire. You have to do things. You push them out to computers through GPO, trust them, whatever. But like, unless you're like running a CA where like you have to like look at like if you're running PKI for your company, like, I mean, I don't know about in the fucking Linux world, but in the Windows world, it's like mostly automatic. Every computer and user gets a certificate automatically. You set up what those certificates, what template they're based upon, and then everything just uses it. Like you set it up once and then it's done, you know? And unless you're like operating some kind of thing like the federal government where like you need to manually approve every single CSR that needs to be, you know, signed, it's just like, what? Yeah, I mean, if you work for VeriSign, if you work for Symantec, if you work for a public CA, then yeah, sure, that's your job security. I mean, at least until RSA is broken with quantum computers or whatever. But I mean, I wouldn't. PK is kind of a niche thing. Like if you're just looking for a job in just like the industry, just like if you're passionate about it, then go for it. But I think that the real work with PKI is figuring out how to make it more seamless and more friendly. You know, even in Windows, man, like to get into the certificate store for the computer, it's like there's no control panel for that. I mean, there's a shortcut somewhere that you can search for, but it's not right in front of you like it should be. On Android, I think like the certificates, like your trusted certificates or whatever, they're only like one level deep in the settings or whatever, but it should be at the point where most people understand certificates, because that's the only thing that they have to go on when they trust someone on the internet. And the other thing people need to understand is what exactly it is that they're trusting. Just because someone has a certificate doesn't mean that they're like not going to take your money. It just means that this connection is to the person that CA, at the very least, they own that domain. Usually it's nothing more than they own that domain. That's the verification you get. You pay a lot of money, you get like the, you know, they really verify you, and then you get an address and an you know, you get a nice looking certificate. Maybe you pay extra for the green, you know, the highlighted in green, you know, this is Chase Bank, super secure. But 99% of the certificates out there, it's just, you know, the CA sent an email or check the text record, like, okay, this guy owns this domain, here's a cert that says this guy owns this domain. MMC control M certificates, yeah. I mean, in my enterprise, I've created an MSC file for that, and it's in everyone's path, so they can just type certs to get the computer certs up. But, yeah, trying to proxy some packets. Well, you should proxy some packets. EVA or scam, they don't serve. What? They don't serve any EVA? EVA? EVs? What are you talking about? EVs, electric vehicles, are a scam in your opinion? What do you mean they're a scam? What's wrong with you? Have you ever driven one? Extended validation. Oh, I thought you were talking about. I'm sorry. Extended valid. Yeah, of course it's a scam. But if you're scamming people, having the little green thing there helps them give you your credit card, their credit card info, so you can do things with it. What's a scam is how much they charge for wildcard certificates. That's a racket. If we give him a wildcard cert, he doesn't have to come back to us and pay us 3 or 4 times. So we'll charge out the ass for it. We'll charge the most amount of money we think anyone will ever really spend with us by buying individual certs. Jesus Christ. Wildcard cert should be a fucking right. If you own the domain, you own everything under the domain. You know? But I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Start your own CA? Yeah, start your own CA. Go ahead, do it. Try getting your CA trusted in Windows or Mac OS or Chrome. Try that. We'll see. See how far that goes. I bet if you had $500 million, you could easily get added to the Windows update that updates the trusted root certificates. I wonder when there's going to be a scam or a scandal in which people stop trusting their operating system vendor to tell them who's trusted and who's not. You know? I wonder when Apple's going to I bet it's going to be Apple. I swear to God, it's going to be Apple. Apple's going to disagree on some moral, ethical issue with, like, Symantec or VeriSign or GoDaddy or something. They're going to morally object to something, and they're not going to trust their CA cert. They're going to take it out of their subscriber, and they're going to be like, well, our users can choose to trust your certificate explicitly, but, you know, that favor we were doing where we were bundling it in with the OS, we're not doing that anymore. I can't wait. Because they have no obligation to give you a list of who you should trust out of the box. It's just implicit because people, if they try to go to their bank and that cert's not trusted and that's really the right cert, people aren't going to like that. They're going to complain if, you know, oh, that's a Windows problem. But I swear to God, I guarantee Apple's going to, like, be like, why is it we're doing this again? They're gonna play that card one day. Superfish, yeah, but Superfish was legitimately, you know, a vulnerable thing. There's been a lot of root CAs that have been ripped out of the list, but for good reason. Either they were compromised or, you know, whatever. But I'm talking about like a legitimate CA that will break things, that, you know, maybe not too many things, maybe it'll be a small one, but just for some superficial reason, like, it's just like, oh yeah, we've decided not to just unilaterally put every major CA in here. Or maybe they're going to charge money. Maybe Apple's going to charge, or Microsoft or Google will charge money. I can't see Google charging money for that, but it got dark outside for you real quick. Yeah, man, it's outside. It gets dark outside. It's 8:32. 8:32. Ooh. Apple pulling an EA, yeah. What is Fortnite even about? Does anyone know? I don't. I think I read the first paragraph on Wikipedia. It's an overhyped game? Okay. I saw some cute Fortnite clothes, maybe pajamas, at Hot Topic, and I didn't want to wear them because I didn't want to get them because I don't know anything about Fortnite and the connotations that it may bring. I've learned my lesson with the Splatoon pajamas, not to wear anything that... Well, actually, I would still wear the Splatoon pajamas. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back 5 years. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. An in toddler, yeah. Maybe I am an in toddler. I need to get home and finish writing my Nintendo game. So I can figure out how to make GitHub work with it. How are you? I'm fine. I'm good. PBS. Woo-hoo-hoo. When I was little, there was a show on PBS called Learn to Read. And it was hosted by famous Amos from the Cookies. Wally Amos. I think that's his name. And he sat on this gigantic, like, alphabet block. How was your experience on Tosh.0? It was fun. I wish I had more time to stick around in LA, but I took off work for that. I had to get back. I'm behind live. Wanted to mention Windows cert tim. Really? Cert im.msc? Perfect. I will remember that. Really? Is it your Mac saying that, or is it Chrome saying that? I'm eating a high chew. SQL Server will use all available resources until you tell it not to. Safari, that's your problem. Why do all the Mac users want to stick with Safari? Apple can phone, but they can't computer. Not anymore. Alright, here's the part where I tell you what other YouTubers you should watch. If you like my content, there's a guy called 65 Scribe. 65 Scribe. He does videos on like old Mac hardware, and he's pretty funny. He has like that dry, deadpan, sardonic humor. He's got like that deadpan voice like V Westlife. If you know V Westlife, he's got like that kind of voice, but with more jokes, and it's a lot more, I like it. It's good background noise too. What else have I been watching? That might conclude this edition of what to watch on YouTube. Markiplier, yeah. I tend to watch Markiplier when I'm over other people's houses because they are subscribed to him and I am not. I don't games enough to do any of that for that to be meaningful. If you're interested in phone stuff, you should watch Connections Museum. Subscribe to Connections Museum. Sarah's got some really awesome shit happening over there. Restoring a panel switch. I want to restore a fucking panel switch. $65 scribe. What else have I been watching lately? The AT&T archives, the Bell System archives. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of really awesome shit, but I can't pull it up on my phone because I'm streaming. Oh, what, you mean the Nortel guy isn't, what about him? You mean you don't like the Nortel guy's videos? Technology Connections. Well, of course. Technology Connections goes without saying. And I know you all stick around for Alex bloopers at the end. Are you excited about color e-ink displays? I will only be excited if Alec from Technology Connections gets excited. I didn't know that I loved humidifiers until he touched my heart with it. And I own a heat pump. And he's 100% correct. You know who would not be excited about color e-ink displays? Fran Blanche. Not unless there's some kind of motor or vacuum or tube. Oh, Fran Blanche. She's not too far from here either. If only I knew these people. Me and James Rolfe and Fran Blanche could hang out at the fucking mall here. I wonder what other people are in this area. Content creators. You're gonna get a heat pump? You get a heat pump. You get a heat pump. Oprah's giving out heat pumps. Oh, I know what I've been watching. Woo! Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale's archives. He has a channel on YouTube with like all these old bloopers and pilots and all these game show, like, if you like Family Feud, if you like The Price is Right, if you like Classic Concentration, any of those 80s, 90s, 70s game shows, Scrabble, go watch that channel. There is something for everyone. There is some niche or some behind the scenes, or even just like the compilations of just awesome moments. Just that's a good, if you like game shows, that's a good one. Go look at that. Go do that. Go look at that. Go do that. Look at that. There's a channel called Poncho, I believe it is. And I believe he's writing an operating system from scratch. And it's pretty good. You should watch that as well. Hi, hard baby, about a baby, baby, buggy bumpers. You recreated the Nortel ringtones on your phone. Oh, good. That's a level of obsession that I have not gotten to yet. Unfortunately. I'm at the point where when I hear the Nortel ring, I'm just like, hang up the fucking phone before my wife wakes up and yells at me that the phone is ringing. Because when you play with phones all day, when like a phone call comes in at 2 in the morning and the phone rings, your wife thinks you're playing with the phone. Or at the very least, it's your fault that people have your phone number. No, that was the Lucent ring. aka the Avaya ring. It was a Lucent phone that was on the desk, and it was the Avaya ring, which is what you'd hear in Walmart before they switched to Cisco phones. So I believe, for an external call, or maybe it's no, I think an external call rings normally. An internal call is, and a transfer is. Ever considered time conditions? Time conditions like business hours. What the fuck are you talking about? Time conditions. Yeah, I consider business hours. I'm certainly not at the mall parking lot 44 minutes after they've closed. I never considered working at business hours. When are you gonna drop on karaoke version of closed captioning? It's gonna be on the album. It's literally one of the songs that's done on the album that I haven't worked on in 4 years. Is it not on SoundCloud? If it's not on SoundCloud, I'll make it available on SoundCloud, but there's an album version that is the instrumental for your phone system. Oh yeah, yeah, but but that's not the problem. I want the phone to be able to ring. I don't want to send it to voicemail, because then I have to check voicemail, and almost no one legitimate ever calls me. Almost back to I agree with your prediction of PK comes. Yep. There's karaoke versions of the tracks. There's not, but there will be an instrumental. I should go soon. I've been here for an hour 40 with my car running in the parking lot. It's dark out, and I should do something with my life. But thank you for everything. What email should we contact you to ask for permission to use your music from 4211? You can email me at virtuallyanything@42-11.com, and I will get it. I mean, you can just use, I'll just tell you right now, you can use my music and whatever. As long as you credit 4211, I don't care where you use my music. I have to talk. Dealt with a vendor recently that said we needed to approve an email sent to webmaster@domain.tld and said us delegating the DNS zone wouldn't work. Oh, wow. That's pretty bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because then you got to involve the email people or whoever owns that. I mean, in large companies, no one's going to know who the fuck owns webmaster at their domain. Like, if you told me that you're going to send an email to webmaster@thecompanyIworkfor.com, I would have no idea where the fuck that would go. I would be like, I'm sorry, we can't do business then. I've been talking about Spectre for 2 hours. It's dark out. I want my goddamn fish. They're both cold. All side channels efficiently removed. Yeah, that was a good video. Yes, the instrumental is on SoundCloud. Now you have it. See how easy that was? And now you can use it in other things. Alright, I'm gonna go because things. I'm sure at some point the security that drives around here is going to come over here and be like, can I help you? Actually, no, I'm pretty sure that won't happen ever. Duck, duck, going. Just took a little duck, go. Okay. I think we'll get along well. XP? I don't like Windows XP. What's your thought on companies having coding interviews and asking data structure and algo questions? I think that's a good thing, because people think that they know how to program and they don't. People know how to program by copying and pasting and doing example, people don't really know that they don't know how to program to meet other, like learning to write code to address business use cases and giving them what they want and understanding what they need without them knowing what they need is an acquired skill. So I think coding interviews and challenges like that, I think, are the only way to hire a developer. Don't look like, yeah, if the resume says, I know C#, then don't assume they know Java. But outside of that, don't look at their fucking resume for anything. It doesn't matter if they went to school. It doesn't matter if they have a cert. It doesn't matter if... The only thing that I care about if I'm hiring a developer is give me your GitHub or give me code samples, or I'm going to ask you questions and give you a scenario and make you write it down. And it's going to be something that has something to do with my industry and not just like FizzBuzz. Please write FizzBuzz. No, you're going to be given a problem that I had to solve recently, and I want to see if you're solving it at least as well as I did, or maybe better. That's what I'm looking for. So that's, I think, the only way to do coding interviews, because people are biased. They don't know that they don't know everything about, coding. They think they get to the point where they've written everything that they've needed. They've written everything that they've wanted to get, if they got into programming to write games, then they made the game they wanted. If they just learned, for utility purposes or whatever, then they did what they wanted. But that doesn't mean that they've come across every possible problem that the real world has. And I know that that's an acquired skill. So yeah, you gotta do that. All right, I'm leaving. Bye.